with Mario Lopez.
What's up, y'all? Mario Lopez. Joining me now on Zoom, actor and comedian Dave Coulier. Welcome to the show, my man. You're looking good.
Mario, thank you. You too, buddy. It's been a long time now. Are you in the same studio the last time I did the show with you? Are you over there up in Universal?
Correct.
Okay. All right.
A couple little spots here. I think this is the latest one with the blue walls and the pinata.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to get you back when you're in the air. You're an LA guy though, right? You stay here.
I'm in Michigan. I moved back to my home state of Michigan with my wife, and we're building a house here. And
Nice. What part?
I'm actually building the house. I went to contractor school. It doesn't mean I know how to build a house, but I'm going to build this house starting next week. We start.
Congratulations. That's a daunting task. I didn't know there was such a thing as a contractor school. Were you always pretty handy, like a carpenter?
Yeah, I've always been a carpenter. I was a carpenter's assistant as a summer job many, many years ago. And I just love building things during COVID. I built a couch and some shelves and a bunch of different things, so I've always kind of dabbled, but not building a house. So yeah. We'll see.
That's next level. Well, congratulations and good luck.
Thank you. I'll need it.
Congrats on the new show, Live and Local, or is it Live and Local?
It's Live and Local.
Live and Local. Okay. Could be Live and Local, I guess, right? Live and Local.
Yeah.
Both works. It looks like an office type comedy. What can you tell us about it?
It's the story of a guy played by me. The character's name is Tommy Murphy, and he's quite a curmudgeon. Huh. And he's a big fish in a small pond. He's the top morning jock in a very small radio market on a faith-based radio station. He's been there forever, and he thinks if it's not broke, don't try and fix it. So he's not going to do social media. He's not going to be trying to become a hipster or anything. Right. He just wants to keep the status quo. So in the first episode, we see him get rattled because his contract is up, and they kind of want to, maybe get rid of him. So this is the first time we're seeing, some frayed edges on this character.
That's a fun premise right there. Now, you seem in real life the furthest thing from a curmudgeon. However, we are getting older, and we do tend to have, or at least I tend to have, some curmudgeon vibes once in a while. Do you find that to be the case?
Yeah. And you know what it's like going out and promoting your shows over the years. You've got to do every morning zoo radio program, but once in a while you come along one of those old AM radio stations, a guy who's been there for 50 years. Those guys. And right before you're ready to go on air, he's like, I can't believe they screwed up my coffee again. Right. This is the worst coffee. There's not enough sugar on the planet to make this coffee look good. You ready? And we're back with Dave Coulier. He's our guest. Great. So I've had so many of those types of guys to pull from to create this character.
Oh, that's awesome, man. And are you shooting the show in Michigan or out here?
We shot the show in Spokane. And the last time I had been there, I shot a movie called The Family Holiday and was back in Spokane in a little studio there. They built a fully functioning radio studio for us. So I had to work the board, and that was, that was a quick study in what I didn't know.
Yeah.
So I think by episode 6, I finally got it, but that was a challenge.
Now the show also features real celebrity interviews, correct?
Yeah.
Are you in character for those?
I'm in character for those. They're just themselves. So we're Zooming with them, and we're doing it on the fly live. Fun. And this show is very, Mario, it's kind of like flying by the seat of your pants. There's a script, but about, I would say 40% of it is us improvising our way through the scenes. And I was really lucky with this cast, because I would say, all right, you guys are hopping on this train, whatever station we get off at, that's where we're going. And they were like, go for it. And they were so great, especially Emily Pendergast, who's a local LA improver, is wonderful. And Pat Cashman, Kendra Sherrill, they just rode along with me, and we made it fun. And it feels live.
That's such a fun and creative way to work. Does it feel live and local? That's the question.
Yeah, once you start reading these cheesy little spots, it does sound very local.
And just to let everyone know, this airs on the PureFlix streaming service, correct?
Right.
How did the partnership come about?
Well, Sony Affirm is the production, the company, the studio behind it. And so PureFlix is their streaming arm. And so, when Dan Merchant, the showrunner, the creator, said, "Hey, there's no one else on this list. Please do this show." And he told me, it was going to be very improvisational. And I said, "This guy sounds like a curmudgeon." He said, "You can make him whatever you want him to be." And I said, "I'm in. Let's do it."
Fun, man. That's fun. And at the same time, you're still doing stand-up, correct?
I did a stand-up tour, 24 U.S. Air Force bases, and that was a hoot. So I'm going to take a little break from stand-up. I'm doing a bunch of other things. So to do stand-up, you got to be out in clubs every night. You got to be honing it. You got to be polishing and shaping and coming up with the newest pizzazz. And, to do that, it takes a lot of time. And I'm going to be building a house this year, Mario. I can't be out of clubs,
Exactly.
Yeah.
The house is done. You'll have a lot of material to work with.
Exactly. And I'll be completely bald by then too.
The hair's looking good, by the way. I like it short and tight right there.
Well, you know what? My hair looks up to your hair. Look at that. Short and tight. Yeah.
We've talked to some of your Full House co-stars about the legacy of Bob Saget, who we've had on the show numerous times. Such a great guy. But you two were young comics, speaking of comedy, coming up together. Do you have any memories of Bob from that time in the stand-up era? Because he was naughty, I remember back then.
Yeah. Mario, we met when I was 18 years old here in Detroit, Michigan. And I'd been doing stand-up 2 weeks. I had long hair and I had braces on my teeth, and I thought I was pretty funny. Well, I did a set in this little dive bar called the Delta Lady, 110 seats. It was usually filled by the drunken softball team that was there,
Right.
So I went up and I did my set on this comedy night, and I did really well. It was my best set. I thought, man, I'm on the right path. Then Saget walked in with two other comics, Jeff DeHart and Fred Raker, and they were on a Comedy Store Young Comedians tour. And Bob, I want to say, was about 23. So these two guys go up and they just crush it. Saget goes up and brings it to a whole different level. He blew the doors off of this place, and I thought, that's how good I want to be. So afterwards, I was like, "Hey, my name's Dave, and I'm going to move out to LA someday too and be a comic." And he goes, "Well, here's my number." And he wrote down his number on a bar napkin. I got to LA. I called him, and he said, "Well, why don't you come on over?" And when I went over, it was Gary Shandling was there.
Oh,
and so
wow.
Me and Shandling and Bob sat around making each other laugh so hard. We just became instant brothers, And then Bob said, "Well, do you have a place to stay?" And I said, "Well, I'm between apartments." He said, "Well, just sleep on my couch." So then years later, we do Full House, and Art imitates.
Just coincidence. Yeah. You guys, wow.
Total coincidence. Wow. Totally out of left field, right?
Trip.
So we start Full House, and Joey moves into Danny Tanner's house and sleeps on the couch.
Wow.
How weird is that? Yeah.
It's the coolest story ever. Oh, thanks for sharing that, man. That is very cool. I wasn't expecting that one. That's nice. I just wanted to talk about some of the voices you've done over the years, because you've done some great ones. Muppet Babies, Real Ghostbusters, Scooby-Doo. Are voices and impressions something people can learn, you think, Dave? Or is it more of like a God-given gift, like if you can sing or not?
I think so. I'll stop people when they're talking, and they'll just go, "I can't believe that," and I'll go, "That's a character voice right there." And they're like, I didn't even realize I was doing that. I'll go, no, that's like a New York subway guy, so, but I think you have to kind of have an appreciation for it first. And the way I started, my younger brother and I, we used to lay in our bunk beds, and we used to do impressions at night about, just like neighbors on the street or people we knew or relatives. And I remember my dad running into our room at 1 a.m. going, I'm tired of hearing Uncle Vince and Mr. Hooper in here. Now knock it off, both of you. So that's kind of how I started. I just had a love of laughing, doing those voices. So I think people can learn. First celebrity impression was it was either Popeye or Bullwinkle, because I loved watching those cartoons when I was a kid. So then I learned how to do all the Warner Brothers cartoons. And then, I was a hit at every party. I'd go to the hockey banquet and people would go, just listen to him. Just do that whole weird cartoon thing you do. And it was so entertaining for people that I just thought, well, maybe there's something here.
I love it. I love impressions. That's great.
Mario does a great impression of Rodney Dangerfield.
So stupid.
That's his best impression.
Is it really?
I think that's your best impression.
I like impressions
Maybe
myself. I'm no Dave Coulier. Don't put me on the spot, Frazier. Next time I talk, Dave, I'm going to have my impression set ready for you. It's going to be polished, and I will audition.
Here's a quick caveat to that story. My Uncle Dick, I had 9 uncles growing up. My Uncle Dick would wear a clip-on tie and do Rodney. So he's like, hey, just see me on the Tonight Show last night. I want to tell you, it's tough. It's tough,
He commits.
I one of my favorites is Joe Pesci. Unbelievable.
Oh, that's great.
That's unbelievable, this guy. Totally busting my chops. You believe this guy over here?
Have you ever done that for Joe Pesci?
I never have, but I was playing golf with Tim Allen over at Lakeside in LA.
Pesci's
he lives in.
Yes. And so we're playing, and I hear this voice, and I go, that's got to be Joe Pesci. And I go over there, and he's got a cigar, and he's got his little hat on. He's like, I'll bet you $10 you're going to miss that. No, all right, let's make it 50. $50, you don't drop that right now. And I'm just going, this is amazing. This is amazing. I'm just, the other time I was there, I saw Bob Hope going way back. Bob Hope used to hit balls on the range. He used to take his cart over there from his house in Toluca Lake. So one day I'm leaving, and I was playing golf that day with the Olsen twins' dad, Dave Olsen. So we finish our round, and I look out on the range. There's Bob Hope, and he's hitting balls. So Bob Hope hits one, and it's a worm burner. And he actually did this. He did a take to no one.
Yeah, that marvelous. Huh?
Yeah, I like you. Yeah, I like you. I'm gonna put you on my special.
Yeah, but I want to tell you.
That's great. I love it. Killing it, man. That's the best Pesci I've ever heard, I think, right there. It's such a joy to talk to you, Dave. Congratulations on everything you got going on, my man. Watch live and local out now on Pure Flix. Dave, thanks so much again, and good luck on the house.
Hey, this was fun. I appreciate it. See you, Mario.
All right, you too, buddy. Take care.
On with Mario Lopez.